back to our wonderful Totally Beads live on what is a beautifully hot summer's day. How are you doing? Are you all okay in this weather? Are you melting? Have you got any tips to stay cool? It was a very warm night last night. It's going to be a very hot couple of days. So if you've got any tips to how to keep yourself cool, then please let me know. So how are you all doing? What have you been up to? It seems like ages since I've seen you last. I hope everything's okay on your end. I hope everything's okay my end. Drop me a comment, let me know. Is the camera okay? Can you hear me okay? Are we live on all stations? We should be on TotallyBeads and we should be on Facebook and YouTube. So hopefully that's okay. Good morning to Brenda. She says, good morning. I'm happy because it's my birthday today. I turned 70. Happy 70th birthday to you, Brenda. We are sending you lots and lots of love. Hopefully you've got something nice planned today, which involves staying cool and eating lots of cake. Maybe you could have some ice cream with it as well. Good morning to Heidi. She says, good morning all. Chris is in. They say, good morning. Tutu says, hello, Natalie and everybody. Good morning to Mandy. She says, morning, Natalie. Hope you had a lovely holiday. I did, thank you. It was really nice. Got to do everything I wanted to do, which involved a lot of relaxing, walking. I walked an awful lot. Little legs kept up with us, which was really good. Good morning to Pauline. She says, good morning, Natalie and everyone. Hope you enjoyed your holiday. I did, thank you. And good morning to Anne. So today I'm going to be making with you some really lovely earrings. We're going to be using some 0.4mm wire. They are really easy to do. It is a wire project, but it's not a complicated wire project. We're just stringing through the wire on the most beautiful Amos beads. I absolutely love these beads. So we've made little bracelets with them before. We've got different colours for you today because we've got such a lovely selection of these beads. So if you've got the kits for the bracelets, you can have a matching set. You'd be able to use them with the colours that you already have. But these are lovely. We've got a bargain as well for you, as always. Adelina says, good morning, everybody. Tutu says she's missed me and Kitty, which is very kind. I've missed you too. Good morning to Judith. She says, good morning, hearing and seeing you. Thank you for that, Judith. Good morning to Diane. Pauline says, good morning, not enjoying this weather in the slightest. I can't stand hot weather. I find it really uncomfortable. Karen is here, Mandy is here, Francis is here in a beautiful sunny Perth. Excuse me. Gwen is also here, as is Joe and Mina. Pauline is asking, how is Kitty? Is she feeling any better? As is Anne. So Kitty, if you are watching, do drop a comment and let everybody know how you are. And Nicole, good morning to you. And Judith is wishing Brenda a very happy birthday. So weather-wise, you need to stay indoors today. I always say go and do some beading in the garden, but it's very, very hot and your hands are very slippy, especially with the sun cream on. Make sure you're drinking plenty of water. If you have a room fan, put that on. My tip is if you put a little bowl in front of the fan with some water and make some ice cubes in it, that should blow around a little bit of cool air for you. Not sure if it's going to make much difference. Good morning to Sue. She says, good morning, Natalie and all my beading family. Watching this and then wandering down to the river later to watch the annual swan upping. That sounds good. Good morning to Anne. She says, good morning, Natalie and everybody. And Lucy is complaining it's too hot and she's melting. It's telling me at the moment it's 22 Celsius. Given the time of day, it's going to be scorching this afternoon when the sun is at its peak. So do be careful. Good morning to Hannah. She says, hope you enjoyed your week off and hope Kitty's feeling better. Sheila is in. She's wishing everybody a good day. Says it's a good day to stay in and bead. I agree. Joe is walking Lola in the rain this morning in Plymouth. It was raining. Hopefully it cooled them down. If you've got any puppies, any dogs, don't walk them in the heat of the day. Their feet on the pavement would be far too hot. So yeah, late night evening walks or very early morning before the sun is out is my suggestion. Good morning to Lynette. Oh, Lucy says it's 27 already. Oh my goodness. Good morning. I don't know how accurate my temperature is. Good morning to Celia. Hello to Julia, and hello to Elaine. And hello to Kath. She says, good morning, Natalie, and everybody. Right, so should we just get going? We'll do a quick make for you today. I'm going to take you down. No, I'm going to take you over to the website. I'm going to show you the bargains, and then you can choose what colours. And I'm going to make, they are quick makes, so I might make, rather than a pair up, I might make 2 separate ones in 2 different colours. So if you aren't sure where to go, we are on TotallyBeads.co.uk. So here we are in our wonderful website. You can click on the video tutorials here, or you can scroll down in the category section, whichever you prefer. We've got some amazing clearance kit sales on as well, so have a little nosy at those. So it seems so long since I've been with you. Yeah, I think the Sarah necklace was the last we did, so it's been a good week of missing you and missing the making. Today we are doing the azalea earrings, so into this section we go and look at them. So beautiful Amos beads in a selection of colours. Now each kit will make 3 pairs of earrings, and we've got a buy 2 get 20% off. So you can choose from an array of colours. There is something there for everybody. If you're doing the buy 2 get 20% off, then you might want to mix and match them. I think the green turquoise would look particularly beautiful with that light rose, that pink colour. I also think the coral red would look gorgeous with the white splash. Today, I'm loving the white splash. I'm always drawn to turquoise, but I'm actually loving the coral red. So I think I'm going to demo with a couple. So the kits do vary in price, obviously depending on which colour you choose. So we have some which are £5.30, which make up 3 pairs of earrings, or if you like the look of the others with the gold splash on them, they are £7.20. So I'll quickly click into each one and what you're getting. So your kit is going to contain your beading wire, which is the 0.4 millimeter. You're going to get plenty of wire on there. You're going to get about 2 meters. And I would say you would need at most about 60 centimeters of wire for a pair of earrings. I think, to be honest, you'll probably need a little bit less. There's 2 different methods of making these, so I will show you both ways. One is using a little bit less wire, but it depends which you found most easy to do. So you're going to get your wire in your kit, you're getting your gorgeous Amos glass beads, and you're getting 3 pairs of your ear wires. That is all you need. In terms of your tools, a ruler maybe to measure out your wire, some round nose or bail making pliers if you have them, some wire cutters, and a pair of pliers just to tuck those ends in. So these, which are absolutely, I'll show you them down on the mat. This is white splash. So they are white and they've got the most gorgeous gold splash colour upon them. So they are the white splash, and they are £7.10 for a kit that makes up 3. It's a buy 2 get 20% off. So that's those ones. We've also got the absolutely stunning coral red. They're £7.20. You're getting everything in your kit to make 3 pairs, and that is what it will look like. Beautiful red colour, again with that gold splash finish across the front of them. They're very comfortable to wear as well, very light. I will be putting them in. I think I'll be modelling probably the white splash, given what I'm wearing today. They are very, very summery, and they are perfect. We've also got the crystal AB, which are £5.30. And again, they look like rainbows in terms of the colour and the sheen on them. So I will show you them down on the mat as well. We've got violet, which is a beautiful. So your wire will change depending on which colour that you go for. So for the these ones are on the purple wire, and we've put some black plaiting wire in there for you. For the ones that I've covered already, for the white splash, you're getting champagne wires and you're getting the ivory white wire. And what other ones did I do? I've done the coral ones as well, didn't I? The coral's going to be on the copper wire with the champagne ear wires too. So they will all match beautifully for you. We've got the green turquoise, which are gorgeous. You'll see we've got the white for you on those. Which ones were those? I think they are the gold ear wires and the light gold wire. They're £6.90. And last but not least, if you're a lover of pink, then these ones are for you. They are £5.30. You're making 3 pairs. All your wire is included. You've got the gold wire for the pink Amos, and you've got rose gold ear wires as well. So lots of lovely ones to choose from. Have a little look, see what you're thinking. Let me know in the comments which ones you like. Hopefully you like all of them. So what have I missed? Lots and lots of comments. Hello to Celia, hello to Julia, hello to Elaine, hello to Sharon. She says, good morning, creative beading ears. Chris says it's 23 here in South Wales at the moment. It's going to be scorching. Leanne says, hello, jewellery people. Hello, my lovely. Lucy is kindly sharing the link for us today. So we're on totallybeads.co.uk/Facebook tutorials /Azalea Amos earrings. Sue is saying she had some thunder and a downpour, which sounds exciting. It may have freshened it up a little bit. Diane says the crystal's going to go with anything. I think it will. Anne is saying I keep freezing. Hopefully, Anne, I'll stop freezing now. Sometimes when I'm over on the website, it makes me a little bit stuttery. So hopefully that will be okay. Does the wire come twisted? No, Nicole, I'm going to show you how to do that now. It's very simple to do. Joe is loving the turquoise. Anne is saying, good morning, everybody. Hope you're all doing good. And Mina's saying all the colours are lovely. So let's go down on the mat. Let me show you them in their glory. There we go. So we've got these gorgeous little pink ones. Very, very pretty. So this is the light rose. And they fit together really nicely like little flowers. We've got the beautiful turquoise, which is just a stunning colour. Pauline is loving the coral. Hello to Downland Crafts. They say, good morning, Natalie. This one is kind of the plummy purple, beautiful one. It also looks like little speckles on that to me. They're so pretty. Brenda's loving the pink. The white splash is possibly my favourite. Can you see those? Little bit of focus. My hands will be slippy today. I've washed the sun cream off my hands, but we'll see how we go on. Sheila says, choices, also lovely. Leanne says they're like cute little shamrocks. They are a little bit. You could use the turquoisey ones as little shamrocks. I'm loving the coral. Look at the gold splash on those. They're so pretty. And then your crystal AB ones, which do, Diane, go with everything, will just sparkle with all sorts of colours. So depending on how the light catches them, you're going to get pinks in there, blues in there, yellows in there. It depends how the light catches them. Leanne says, these earrings look great with daisy chain seed bead choker. They would indeed. They'd also look nice with, when we did, was it the pearls we used for, the glass pearls for the little daisy necklaces that we made a few weeks ago? Good morning to Trish. She says, these look fab. Good morning to Elaine. Donna is saying, hello, it's warm. 31 here in Essex. 31 already. Oh my goodness. I think the further down south you are, the hotter it's getting. Right, let's get going with the earring. So make yourself some space. Take your ruler and take your wire. So I'm going to cut 2 lengths of 15 centimeters on my wire. So it doesn't have to be completely exact. You will be trimming some off, but I think it's a good length to get hold of things. Have a little rummage through your tools, find where you've put your wire cutters and just trim that off to length. And then I'm going to take another one and just lining that first one up against it, but you can do it against your ruler again if you wish. So I've cut 2 lengths at 15 centimeters. My hands are very slippy. This is going to be fun, isn't it? Okay, now I'm going to take my beads. So we're using the beautiful Amos beads, and I'm going to count out 8 of those. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. So this is going to be for one earring. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to take 1 length of my wire. I'm just going to straighten it through my fingers a little bit. You can use your wire straighteners if you want to. You can use your fingers. You can use a little cloth. They don't have to be perfectly straight. And what I'm going to do is I'm going to line up my beautiful beads all in a row so they're all facing the same way. So at the moment, I've positioned them point side up. So they're like tiny little teardrop shapes. And they are 2 hole beads. So there's 2 holes on either side. I'm going to take my first piece of wire and I'm just going to get another bead out there because one of my holes looks blocked. So just check as you put them on that you can pop your wire through that top hole. So 1 length of wire is just going to go through the top hole. And because we're using the 0.4, it's going to go through really easily. It's going to give my ear wires enough strength, but yet at the same time, it's going to be very light. So if you like a dangly earring, but sometimes you don't want too much weight, then these are perfect. So I've positioned them all together through that top hole, and I'm going to take my second wire of 15 centimeters and I'm going to bring that through the bottom hole. So you can pick it up and slide them along, just make sure they don't fall off the end. So all I'm doing is I'm bringing that wire through the hole, which is on the bottom towards that rounded edge. My wires are slipping. So make sure you've got a cold glass of water next to you to keep yourself hydrated. Just getting that through that little hole. Don't worry if you bend your wires a little bit. They don't have to be perfectly straight. Just popping it on this way. So I'm lying it flat so it's easy to show you. So making sure the bead goes on in the same direction. I got that right? I crossed that over? Yes, I have. Pop that one back on again. It is so warm. Okay, so I have all of my beads on my wire. I'm going to position them so they come into the middle. So the ends of my wire are kind of equal in length. And they will position like so. Hello, Seema. So it looks like this. Now what I'm going to do is I'm going to draw those in together So holding on to the ends of my wire, I'm going to start to turn them in. So I'm going to put a slight bend in that wire. Don't need too much force, just delicately. When I feel that there isn't many gaps and they're sitting close together, I'm going to bring two ends of the wire and I'm going to bend them back. And then I'm going to keep moving them down, in together, and bend the other two wires at this end to kind of like a 90-degree angle. And I'm just going to use my fingers just to push them in together. So what I would like is these bends to be quite sharp, and that means when my Amos beads come round together, they will fit nice and snugly against each other to create that little circle. If there's a little gap in it, just move it back down and reposition that wire. So when I hold them together, little bit of focus, I've got that circle shape. Hello to Alison from Cape Town. She says, made it. Not sure what time it is there. Sue says, it's sunny here in Staines too. My laptop says it's 23 and my phone says it's 28. That's a good point. My laptop's saying it's 22, but I don't know what my phone's saying. So I've made my circle. I'm just going to keep pushing them down just to make sure that they are snug together. So my wires are coming out the back here. And what I'm going to do is I'm going to take the bottom two wires, so the wire that comes out of the little point at the bottom, and I'm going to take them on both sides and I'm just going to give them a little twist together. So I'm holding the top and I'm just turning the flower flat into a little pinch, and I'm going to do the same with those top two wires, giving it a little twist to pinch them together. So I've got them like this, and then I'm going to hold all of the wires together. Just going to check I'm happy with the shape of my e-ring at the front. You can push it together again, the wire is malleable. And then holding on to all of the wires, excuse me, I'm just going to keep hold of it and twist. So I'm going to twist these wires together, and I'm going to twist probably for about 3.5 centimeters. So I'm going to keep twisting. Let's do it in shot knot. Holding on to my flower, holding on to all of those ends of wire. Just give it a little twist. You'll see that twist starts to run all the way up. I will do it again, Sandra. I apologise. I went off screen a little bit there. We've got to make a pair anyway, haven't we? So I've twisted that wire all the way up. I'm going to measure it against my ruler. I'm going to probably trim it off, as I say, about 3.5 centimeters. So I will get my cutters and trim off those ends. And the reason why I'm measuring is just so when I do my next one, it's going to be even in length. So now I have my wires coming off the back like this. I'm going to position it upwards so it's coming out the top of that flower. I can push those two little Amos beads together just to make sure my circle or my flower is nice and there's no major gaps in it. And then I'm going to take either my bail step pliers or my round nose pliers. It doesn't matter which ones you've got. If I'm using my bail step pliers, I tend to use either the second smallest or the third smallest. There is a slight delay on my camera at the moment, so hopefully everything is going all right. So if you're taking your round nose, just make a note of where about you're turning that loop. I'm going to use it just below midway point. If I'm using my bail step pliers, I'm just going to use the same loop for both earrings so my loops become the same size. So I'm going to bend it slightly at the top of my pliers. I'm going to reposition my plier, I'm going to bring it over to make a little wrapped loop. So I've made a little circle or a little loop at the top, and I'm just going to bring that round with my fingers. You can do this with your tools as well if you want, but all I'm doing is I'm just bringing all of those wires that we twisted together around into a little wrap loop. I am keeping my pliers in place at the moment just to keep that loop shape. And then what I'm going to do is I'm going to use some of my pliers just to tuck those ends in. Now it's important that you do tuck all of those ends in. They should be close together because we've twisted them, but we want to make sure that there's no scratchy bits. If these are around your face or around your neck, we don't want them to catch on anything. So I'm just going to take each one of my little wires, if it's untwisted, and I'm just tucking those in. Just going to get my needle nose just to catch that little bit. Give it a little squish. Make sure they're all nicely tucked in. You can pop your round nose back in again if you like. So you have your earring. It's done. It's as easy as that. I will show you again with the bail step pliers as well. All you have to do now is attach your ear wire. So I'm going to take one of my ear wires with my pliers. I'm going to very gently give it a little flick up. I'm not opening it outwards. I'm just opening it a tiny little bit just to twist that up. And then I'm going to thread that loop onto my earring base and close that over. And there you have your lovely little earring. And then it's just repeating that for the second one. I will repeat it and then I'll show you a slightly different method because we've got plenty of time. Lucy, thank you so much for sharing the link for us. We are totallybeads.co.uk/Facebook tutorial/Azalea Amos earrings. I'm having a sip of water to keep myself hydrated. So lovely little simple make for you today. So to make the second one, I'm going to do exactly the same. So I'm cutting 2 lengths of 15 centimeters in the 0.4 wire. So I'm cutting my first one. And my second piece. I'm going to count out 8 of my beads. Just check I've got 2 little holes in each one. Leanne says you can make these in waiting rooms or anywhere. They are really quick and you don't need many tools, so they are a good make to make on the go. So I'm sliding on. It doesn't matter if you want to pop them on the bottom hole or the top hole first, as long as that one wire goes through the same hole and doesn't cross over. So I'm just sliding on. There's a tiny little blockage in that one, so I'm going to get another one out. I'd probably be able to just poke my wire through it. I think it's a tiny little bit of that gold splash paint just across the front. But for time's sake, I've got the weather against me as it is. So I'm just holding on to them in my hand so they don't slip off. And then with the other wire, I am sliding them back across those 2 top holes. Keep moving them down ever so slightly. Make sure they've not twisted, so they're all going the right way up. And then just move that gradually so my wires are roughly even and they're fairly central, like so. There is a real delay on my hands at the moment. So I'm going to bring them all up together in the middle, bringing those 2 ends of the wire, just starting to shape them in. So what I want is the tips of those beads to just sit flush together, so they're starting to make that little circle or flower shape. So I'm just going one by one, just gently pushing them round so they come in to the centre. When I'm fairly happy they're close enough to each other, I'm just going to move those wires on each side, just got them crossed over a little bit there, into quite a sharp bend just to keep it in place. Again, moving them down on the other side just to make sure they've not moved, and bend that backwards too. So when I bring them in together, they should interlock. So I'm taking the bottom 2, that's running through the tip, and the top 2, which are coming out of the top or the rounded part of the bead. I'm twisting the 2 bottom wires together just 2 or 3 times just to hold it in place. Then the top ones, pinching them in together, giving it a little twist to hold it in place. Then bringing all 4 wires, so the 2 sets, holding them all in together at a little pinch. Just reposition the beads if I need to, and give it a little twist round all together. So I'm holding on to all of the wires. Don't have to put that much pressure on it. I'm tending to turn my beads, and that twist will move all the way up the wire. If you feel it's difficult to hold on to it, you can pop your pliers on, use your tools, and twist them together. You'll probably get a tighter twist, and the more you twist it, the tighter that will become. Going to put that against my ruler. I'm going to cut off about 3.5 centimetres. I'm just going to twist it a little bit more so those ends are together, and trim that off, keeping hold of those little tail ends so they don't fly off. So my wire's now coming through the back at this angle. Just going to bend it up, give it a little push with my thumb so it's coming up straight through the top of those 2 beads. This time I'm going to do it with my veil making pliers just to show you. So I'm going to decide which loop I want. Don't want it to be very big. I'm probably going to use the second smallest one. So I'm going to give that a bend. So it's going over at a 90-degree angle. Hi, Carol. Then I'm going to reposition my veil pliers, bringing that loop over the one that I want. Reposition the pliers again if you need to. So you've created that loop at the top of the flower. Now with your pliers or with your fingers, doesn't matter which, I'm going to hold on to the ends of those wires. And I'm just going to start bringing them round together to make a little wrap loop. Now you can wrap 2 or 3 times and trim off, or you can wrap until you've got no wire left. It's entirely up to you. I am keeping my bile step pliers or my round nose in, just while I make that little wrapped loop, just to hold it in place. And then with my pliers, I'm just going to make sure I've tucked in those ends. So once I'm fairly happy that that is secure and it's a nice wrap loop, I can take my bile step pliers out and I can just, with my pliers, just make sure that those little ends are tucked right in, nice and secure. Hello, Sue. She says, morning all, bit late, no worries, Sue. And then I'm going to just take my earring hook. Again, I'm just twisting that towards me. You can flick it away from you or towards you, but I don't want to open it out because I don't want it to snap. I just want to be gentle with that. Thread on my ear wire. And there you go. Now I've done one with the bail and one with the round nose pliers, but they are still fairly, those loops are pretty even. So there I have my first little coral pair. Now, as we've got time and they're very quick makes, I am going to show you a slightly different method. Hopefully it will work, but I am slippy. So I'm going to take my wire. This time I'm going to use the turquoise. So I'm using the light gold wire and I'm going to cut myself about 20 centimetres, just one length of about 20 centimetres. You will get enough in your kit to be making 3 pairs up, whichever method that you use, because you're going to be getting your 3 ear wires. Tutti says they're so pretty. I'm still using 8 beads, so I'm going to, for each earring. So you're going to need 16 beads, 16 of the Amos for a pair of earrings. So 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. Okay, let me just have another sip of drink. Please excuse me. Okay, so to do this method, I'm going to use one length of wire. So I've cut about 20 centimetres. I'm going to thread on my beads through the bottom hole first. Just check that hole. It's again a tiny little blockage, so I'm just going to get another one out. I've got plenty in my pack, so it doesn't matter. I'm sure I will find a use for them as well. I think they make really pretty little rings too, to be honest. Ooh, now I want a matching ring, and then I've got my necklace and my bracelet and my lovely earrings too. So I'm sliding that wire through the bottom. Don't worry if they flip round at the moment. Now I want them all facing the same way. So I'm just going to give them a little flip on my mat on the table to make sure they're all facing the same way. So that wire is coming through the bottom. And with that, they turned again on me. And now I'm going to take one end and I'm going to bring it round. So I'm creating a little circle shape. And I'm bringing that wire, the same wire, is going to go through the top holes. So you can do it this way. Sometimes it can be a little bit trickier to gather them in together doing it this way. But I think it just depends on the day and how hot my hands are. So I'm just bringing that wire back through. Hopefully you can see this okay. My fingers are in the way. So those beads that have been threaded on through the bottom hole, I'm just bringing that wire which I brought round and they are going through the top. So you might need to slide them a little bit as you go just to get that wire through. So it's just going through the top hole here. So I have that one wire coming out the bottom and coming out the top. And I'm just going to start to gently pull on each side. So as I pull the wire, so I'm pulling this end of the wire, which is coming out of the top point. As I'm pulling this, you'll see it's all coming round together like so. I just want to make sure I can gather it in enough so these come together at the top. So I do need to pull on both ends of the wire. Very slippy hands. So now I can shape that a little bit more with my fingers. So I've got one coming out the bottom and one coming out the top. I'm just going to position my beads to make sure they're close. Might need to give it a little push down because it will start to kind of stagger a little bit. So where the wire is coming out on the bottom, I'm just going to pull that back again. So we've got that sharp bend. And I'm going to do the same with the top wire, or the same wire that's coming out the top bit. And I'm just going to push very gently to try and straighten those beads up. Then I'm holding on. There will be more of a little gap between the top beads here. So I've got my two wires coming out the back. I'm going to pinch them together and I'm going to just give them a twist, just as we were doing beforehand. Again, if you want to hold them with your pliers, take those two ends of your wire and you can twist it upwards like so. So now the wire isn't necessarily coming out the back, it's coming out of the top. Hello, Camille. So I've twisted that, just holding with the pliers and my fingers, and you'll see I've got that lovely little twist going all the way through. I'm going to position that wire so it's in the top of those beads, and I'm pushing those beads together to try and close that gap a little bit at the top. And then I'm going to do exactly the same as before. So I'm going to trim off the ends. So I've got a length of that twist, which is approximately 3.5 centimeters. I'm going to pick up either my bail step pliers or my round nose pliers. I'm going to choose which hole I would like. So obviously, the bigger the step you use, the bigger your loop is going to be to attach that E-ring. So I think, personally, I think the second smallest on my bail step pliers is probably my preferred size. So I'm bending that over into a 90-degree angle and repositioning my round nose or my bail step pliers so I can bring that over the top, reposition my hand so I can close that little loop over there. I'm going to swap hands at this point, so my dominant hand is going to take those wires around, which are all together in a nice twist. Because I've only got one length of wire here, so two ends are twisted, you will get possibly a finer little twist, and it's easier to bring those ends in together and tuck them in because you've got less to tuck. So all I'm doing is I'm just swapping over and still keeping it in my round nose or my bail step plier, just while I turn that loop and tuck those ends in. Then you can take it off and Just make sure those edges are fully tucked in. And then I've created my little wrap twisted loop. So there's two different methods to do this. You can use 2 lengths of wire, same gauge of wire. I'm using the 0.4 millimeter. So you can use 2 lengths of 15, bringing through the bottom and the top and bringing them together at the back. Or you can use 1 length at around 20 centimeters, bring it through the bottom or the wide part of the bead and then through the top. You just have to kind of reposition it afterwards, just to make sure that they are aligned neatly. There is a little bit more of a space maybe between them, but I think it looks very, very pretty. Leanne says, nice thing is the tool work for left and right-handed people just the same. Absolutely. I tend to find that I do swap my hands over when I'm making. You know, I might find that if I want to get in to tuck in my ends, I want to use my right hand. And then my left, which is my less dominant hand, can just keep hold of the bail making pliers or the round nose pliers or whatever. But yeah, they are good little tools to have. So again, just going to lift up with my pliers the end of that E-ring, pop it onto my E-ring hook, close it back over, and there I have my gorgeous little Amos earrings. Lucy says they are very pretty. A really quick make. You know, I've made well, I haven't quite made 2 pairs, but I've shown you 2 different methods and we've done a lot of chatting. I think they probably take you about 10 minutes to do, maybe 15. So you can see I am a hot mess. Thank you so much for joining me today. What am I doing with you next? When am I back with you? I think I'm doing bracelets. I can't keep track. I've made quite a few samples up recently, so I'm not sure which is when, but we have some lovely makes in store for you over the next few weeks. We've got some beautiful bright summer colours, a selection of beads. We've got some absolutely lovely, lovely makes. So thank you so much for joining me today on this very hot day. Have we got any tips for staying cool? I'm just going to check if I've got any questions. Let me see. Have I missed anything? I'm not too sure if I have. Someone's asking me what size are the little beads. Let me check exactly on the website for you. You're getting 10 grams, I think, and they are, size is 5 times 8 millimeters and the hole is 0.8 millimeters in those. So when it comes to how big your earrings are in total, let me measure one for you. From the top of the bead to the bottom of the bead, it's just over 1.5 centimeters. With the little loop we've created on the top as well, it's about 2.5 centimeters. So they're quite sweet little earrings. I suppose I should put a little pair in, shouldn't I? I want to do the coral ones. Let me just pop in this green one I've got to hand, this turquoise that I've just made. Lucy says sit in the freezer. I have seen a tip that you can pop your bed sheets in the freezer and then pop them out on your bed before you go to sleep. For me, I mean, I couldn't fit a bed sheet in my freezer. It's that full of all sorts. It probably have like bits of frozen peas and frozen chips and things on there. Cold packs from the freezer can cool you down. I use them all the time when it's hot. I'm going to need to get some tips. So they're the earrings. I've only just done the one, so there you go. There's the one for you. They're very, very sweet. They're not too dangly. I think they're a really nice length and they're really lightweight as well. Mandy says, put your feet in cold water. Might do that. Run my wrists under there too. Sit in front of the fan, says Camille. All for your tips. I will read back through and check what I've missed. So thank you. I will see you on Mia. I'm in floaty clothes, bottles of frozen water. Oh, yeah, I'm going to make myself a nice slushie. So thank you for joining me. I will see you in the week. Have a lovely week. Do stay cool, stay hydrated. Take Lucy's tip to go nap and wake up when it's over. I'll see you soon. Lots of love. And